Hello everyone! Magandang araw! My name is Che and welcome to my channel where I'll post videos about my hobbies. Welcome to my first garden, part of my mother's garden. I bought these vandas, placed them here and left them in my mother's care because my son is studying in the city, and look at them now, especially this vanda in bloom. And look at the roots. It's showing how healthy it is. I placed time-release fertilizers in containers in all of these vandas. This is her second bloom. The first one was under my care, and look how pretty she is. Her ID is Dr. Anek crossed with Kulwadee Fragrant. I hope I pronounced that right. I love her spottings and the color, but she's not fragrant. But she's really pretty. I'll also show you other orchids in bloom. This is where I mounted my Denrobiums, and some of them are in bloom. But before that, I'd like to show you this. I mentioned in my previous video how I love the false bird of paradise plant. And look at this. The flower is longer than my arm. But I have to tidy up the plant. And back to my Denrobiums now. Look at this. And that one. They're doing great even though there's no one taking care of them. My mother is not feeling well and no one's in the house because she's with me in the city. And look at this. So pretty. The color is so rich and more buds are going to open. There's also one in spike here. And the flowers of this one is almost done. Most of the orchids here don't have ID tags, so I'm sorry about that. I can't mention their names. In here are my mother's orchids. The place looks like a jungle already. This Denrobium is so pretty. The color is gold and it is very curly. Too bad I don't know the name, but if you happen to know the name, please write in the comments. This plant is huge. Just look at the canes. Very long and thick. I will take some growth of this in the city soon. In my previous videos, I have already shown you 2 different places of where I'm growing my orchids now, but this is my favorite and preferred way of growing orchids, but I have to adjust. That's why I'm trying different methods of growing orchids, but I just love how easy it is to mount orchids. So simple, carefree, but requires watering more often. But that's just me. We have different preferences. And this one is, I think, a Mokara, and the color is light brown. It doesn't have any scent, but I expected this to be fragrant. And the truth is, I'm expecting vandas of this color to be fragrant. Or maybe not expecting, but just hoping. But anyway, she's pretty and unique. And she's tall. But hey, look at this. A big snail. I'll have my brother remove that later. We need to clean this area. Look at that flower. Good thing these orchids are still healthy and blooming. Maybe they wanted to cheer up my mother so that she'll feel better. 'Di ba? Kasi when we see flowers, we feel happy, and maybe that's what these orchids are trying to do, to make us feel good. There are lots of spikes in my mother's orchids, but I think the Madre de Cacao needs trimming, and this area needs attention. I wanna say hi to this plant. What's the name? I don't know. And I just mentioned that I'm expecting Vandas of this color to be fragrant. And this Vanda is fragrant. She smells sweet and she's frilly. She is sophisticated, at least for me. And she's also tall. My mother usually cuts Vandas of this height to encourage them to produce keikis. Ang bango! This one I think is a Velthius, and she's pretty. Parang ang delicate niya. And before I show you the dancing lady, I'd like to show you this. Such a pretty leaf. And this pretty yellow here is a common dancing lady, and she's a true yellow. I really love this. This flower will really brighten your day. And lastly, ground orchids. But before that, I'd like to show you this. Ang ganda. What's your name, pretty plant? Really beautiful. And back to the ground orchid or Spathoglottis. This is so pretty, but I think this is a mini version because when I was a kid there are lots of this in our house and of different colors, but I think maybe that was a native or species. I'm not sure, but anyway, this is very pretty. Ang ganda, ang cute. And this is planted on soil, and this is where I took my ground orchid, which I brought in our other house, which I converted to semi-hydro, and I hope it will grow like this. Lots of flowers. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Maraming salamat. Paalam. See you in my next videos.